Are you comfortable in your new car, John?
I am, Elizabeth.
And here we go. We are about to drive out of the dealership.
Squeaky tyres. 7 kilometres. Well, first job is to put some new shoes on the girl. So into Bridgestone at Wollongabba this morning, taking the originals off and putting a set of Cooper ST Maxes on. Off with the old, on with the new. Yep, this will be like the 6th set of these that we've had over time. Very happy with them. So why wouldn't you? Then off to Brendale to UV 4x4 to put in the rest of the kit and take this this boy and turn it into a man. So yeah, looking forward to that. Well, after 4 days it was time to make our way back to Brendale to see how Derek and the team at UV 4x4 had transformed the vehicle. This is a whole new experience using public transport. Firstly the bus into the city, then a train out to the northern suburbs, and then a short walk to the store.
Going to pick up the big boy now. Wait. We've got to replace that fridge. Because our old fridge went with the vehicle. So we've got some options now to look at. This is one of them. I rather like that. Well, having picked the car up from UV, the next thing for me to do is we've got to muck around and get a tow hitch that gets the T-van to sit nice and square. So I've got that, just got to fiddle around with that to get that right. And we've got to put a Rhino roof rack, the backbone system on the car, and that's the job this morning. So we've just unclipped the covers. First thing to do is to do that, I guess, take the rails off and put the backbone braces on, and then from there we mount the actual rack. So we'll take a couple of pickies on the way through. Cheers! So there we go. The first of the backbone are on, and nice and secure. So this is just a bit of an audio test for inside the car at 9,500 k's. Since we put the roof rack on, it's bloody noisy. So a lot of wind noise that, and I don't remember having that much wind noise in the Prado, but anyway. So we just want to see how much that interferes and whether it's usable audio. There you go.
Did you?
We were a little bit later leaving than what we had planned, and how often does that happen? And as you can see by the falling sun, it was getting late in the afternoon, and whilst things had been going okay for us, it was all about to change. liking this gadget, once you've connected the fittings to the tyre valve, you can stand up, so no more bending over for long periods of time. The poor old knees are not what they used to be.
Well, it didn't quick or not, but certainly did easier. Into float.
Now is when it started to get interesting. I might add that we were still at highway pressures, as the track had not been too bad to this point. But we very quickly started to struggle. Having dropped the pressures, I got lazy and thought that would be enough to get us out. But it was soon evident that I would need to deploy the max tracks. I also couldn't get the big girl into low range. As we said, this was a shakedown trip, and with all these electronic gadgets I did struggle. Lights were flashing, things were beeping, and to be honest, I was losing my shit.
Yeah, all part of it. Yeah, I have got screws in my pocket. That's really then. Let's go and try and find a camp.
Shit, my battery's nearly flat. Well, that's great. Hi guys, so I've got a 7-day break and we've decided to go away. So we've got the new car and it's been to ARB and it has just about had everything done to it except for the last piece of the puzzle has just been completed, which was the power system. And over the course of the next couple of days we'll give you a look at that. But for the time being, as you saw, we've just got into Kinkuna Beach and we got a little bit bogged on the way in. That was because we had the tyre pressures weren't dropped down. Well, you know, that's what happens. It was getting late, so we've pulled up to a little camp spot, but we want to go and see if there's something else better available. So I'm just walking down one of these tracks and John's gone the other way to see if there's a better spot, because this one's just on the side of the road, not very big, tree stumps in the way. Anyway, not ideal. We've never been to Kinkuna Beach before, so have no idea what the lay of the land is, where the campsites are. So this is all brand new to us. So I'm just going to walk down these sandy tracks and see if I can find a better spot. If we can't, well, we'll just get up in the morning and we'll go for a drive and see what we can do. But anyway, I'm going to keep walking along here and see what we can find. Yep. I'm going to show you what sort of the track's like. It's very sandy, very boggy. Here we go. Look at this. Yep, it is. Cheers for now, guys. Talk to you later.
after a quick setup last night, we headed off to find a nice spot that we could comfortably set ourselves up in for a few days.
Oh, you missed it. Back up a bit, can you see it? Back up if you can. Do you see where I'm standing?
I can now, just put up the top here so I can see you.
Sorry. You're going to go right when you get down to the bottom of this, opposite where I am. Yep, come down. Right, now, turn. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, it's looking good. Quick coming. Yep, quick coming. A bit long, maybe about to stop.
With more than 5 kilometres of beach frontage, it's not long before we find the perfect spot. The campsite we chose is fringed with coastal casuarina trees with spectacular ocean views. Here we are, we finally arrived up at Kinkuna Beach. This is I guess a 7-day break. Liz has got a bit of a break between shifts, so we've taken the opportunity and we've headed up to a little place. It's just south of Bundaberg. I'll pop a little picture on the map there of it. It was pretty late getting in. We're on time, and then one thing led to another and we were a little bit later leaving than what we wanted to be. As a consequence, we were a bit late at getting to the camp, and then, as you saw, we've had a couple of little issues. We got bogged, but it's all part of the adventure, isn't it? So what we're going to do over the course of these few days, we've got some exciting news to share, and this is the Shakedown trip for Shiloh 2.0. We've finally got it to where we want it. There was one more piece of the puzzle to go in. That was the battery system. That was installed on the Wednesday, and we headed away on the Thursday. So as per normal, we usually try and get ourselves a bit of time to do stuff, but it didn't end up that way.
20 minutes later.
Well, we finally get to introduce Shiloh 2.0. 2.0, you might ask. Our previous Prado 150 was pearl white, and for some reason we've fallen in love with the colour, so we've just really, it just looks like a Prado on steroids, but it's now an LC300. It's Shakedown. We had a quick trip out to St George. You won't be able to see me, but bloody hell, that wasn't nice.
Oh, hang on. Yes, you will.
You can. Hang on, I'm going to turn the light. There we go. Now you can see me. Well, look at that. Some bright light. Holy moly. We are on our way to the River Sands Vineyard for the Easter on the Vines, and we just got smashed by a big storm. Just halfway between Oakey and where our destination is at Bowenville, and
we've took shelter under a tree, and I know you shouldn't do that, but I just needed to try and give some protection to the new cruiser. Like, it's done 500 kilometres and we're getting smashed in a hailstorm. I know I've got to laugh because it's not funny at all.
And we didn't get any footage.
And we didn't get any footage of it because we were just sitting there just totally stressed looking at one another. It's just beyond belief. At any rate, we've arrived at the camp, as you can see. It looked like the storm was behind us, but it looks like it's actually turned around. So we're just going to hold off having tea, lighting the fire. We'll give it half, 3/4 an hour and just see what it does, but it just looks like it's turned around and come back this way. You can see it right around the horizon. Going to make it specky sunset, but that's of no consequence if it smashes the shit out of a new car. Anyway, there's not much we can do about it. It is what it is. So yeah, might catch you guys in the morning very quickly, and we'll see what sort of damage has been done.
Well, apologies.
Cheers.
Guys. We were in a total state of shock and disbelief at the damage in the morning. A few phone calls the following week and it was all repaired. It's all good now, thank goodness.
It's really at Shakedown. We had a quick trip out to St George. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't done, so it was really hard to do too much then. But this has certainly given us an opportunity to have highway, city. We've done a bit of sand work in it. Lots of buttons, lots of electronics to sort of get our heads around, and it did fool us a little bit to start with. But now we're starting to come to terms with it, so we're more than happy with it. So some of the things that we've done, we picked it up from the Motorama. It went down and we had some new tyres put on it. I've always been a Cooper's man. We've had heaps of sets of Coopers on all our others. So we went with a set of 275/70 18s, which is the maximum tyre size that we could fit on the standard rims. And I don't dislike the standard rims. I think they look quite nice on the vehicle. From there, it went out to ARB. Now we having built 2 previous vehicles, we had a fair understanding of what we wanted, what worked, what didn't. We've gone with their bull bar. On the front of that, there's a set of Solace lights, the 7-inch ones. We've put a Warn 12,000 pound winch in. Now we've ummed and ahed about the winch, but the couple of times that we've actually used it with the Prado, and it was worth the investment, particularly when you're traveling alone. And generally we're going to have the camper on, so we've got all that sorted. So from there, we've had a 2-inch lift put in it, and a set of airbags, airman airbags in the rear. So it's a nice tidy little unit now. We had a small GVM upgrade done. That'll just make it compliant. We know the Prado was on its limits before, and we didn't really want to put ourselves in that situation again. And we put a snorkel on. We've learnt by lots of other people's mistakes. So it's all complete. As we said, this is the Shakedown trip for it. We've found a few little things that I need to just tidy up. The battery system's working sensationally. Put some lights in the rear drawers and stuff, and they are awesome. You don't realise how much you miss them. You're wandering around with the head torch on trying to find stuff, where we've just wired it up and you can flick a switch, light the back of it up and the internal of the drawers, so you can see what you're looking for. So that's sort of the front of the vehicle. At the rear, because we're going to do a lot more touring, the vehicle came out originally with a 110 litre fuel tank, and we're going to do a lot more remote stuff. So we wanted to extend that fuel range, and we carry jerry cans in the Prado, and I'm sorry I keep going back to the Prado, but that was our benchmark. That had a 150 litre fuel tank with a fuel range of around about just under 1,000 Ks. So a few extra jerry cans, a couple of extra jerry cans, and we had ample. We didn't want to do that this time, so we've actually put a 150 litre fuel tank in the back of it. We've now got a fuel capacity of 260 litres. So to be able to put that tank in, it goes where the spare wheel lives. So that then required us to put a rear bar on. So we went with the Kmart. We had a Kmart bar in the Prado. I'm very happy with that, so we've gone with that, and they've done a great job. It's amazing. You watch how the engineering has changed. They've incorporated the bar into the actual bumper bar in the 300 one, so it looks really, really smick, like it's nearly designed to be there. So from there, what else do we put in it, Liz?
Under vehicle body
so
protection.
it's got under vehicle body protection all the way through it. So we went with the GME UHF radio. We put a roof rack up on the top. That serves a couple of reasons. Obviously we wanted somewhere to put max tracks. We used to carry a box on top, but with this vehicle, because we want to be able to stop and spend some time, we wanted to be able to put a solar panel on the roof. It's now got a 170 watt hardcore solar panel on the roof. So that bolts up onto the roof rack, somewhere to carry the long handled shovel. And other than that, we've done some rear drawers. So we've got some rear drawers that we've modified, played with a little bit to suit what I wanted to do. And we've also put in a dual zone fridge freezer. So we've upgraded the fridge that we had in the previous vehicle, so that we've now got more fridge capacity and more freezer capacity for time when we spend, well, for when we spend more time off grid. And the last piece of the puzzle obviously is the battery system. With our partnership with Battery World, we've actually been able to put a 240 amp hour lithium battery in, a 40 amp DC to DC charger, which will look after all our charging needs from the engine when it's running and also from the solar panel. We've got a 2000 watt inverter, so much the same as with the van. We'll be able to boil a little jug that we've got. We'll be able to use the induction cooktop if we, away from the van at any time. We head down to the beach and want to cook some sausages on a windy day, it's ideal. So we've done that. There's a nice little distribution box that allows us to run power from your battery, and then everything else runs out, makes that whole setup nice and tidy. So you've got USBs, USB-Cs, SIG plugs, and also 3 Anderson plugs. Ideal to do what we wanted to do, and we've got a big trip coming up in September, October, where it'll get a real work out. So we also wanted some rear storage protection, I guess is for want of a better word. And because of the way the drawers run and the battery system works, we really didn't want to put a full cargo barrier in there. And we felt we didn't need it. We don't carry a lot of heavy stuff in the back. We just needed something to stop stuff from sort of falling onto the back seat and to mount some stuff against. We went with the K-On light storage bar and also the window protectors that they've got. I've forgotten what they call the things now. I'll put it down the bottom. But that's worked out really neat, and it's given us some opportunity to maximise the room that's in the back. If you've got any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments about anything on the build. I'm more than happy to share any of that information. Some of the people that are buying them and looking to build, what works, what doesn't. That being said, catch you guys a little bit later on. So we're just going to wander down the beach and see if we can find some crabs. We're going to eat a bit of bait, so it'll be either worms or crabs.
Or pippies.
Maybe if we can find some pippies, we might even do a pippy marinara or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, at any rate. All right, well, let's go and have a hunt, see what we can find.
Yeah, so look at the traps.
Yeah. There it is.
There's enough sand in there to keep them wet.
A little bit of bait for this afternoon. So it's all about technique. You go in with the right foot, twist a little bit to the left, then to the right, and then a little bit of a flick, and up comes the crab. Then you point upon it while it's upside down before it's got a chance to nail you.
Dig in and nail you. He's got his claws out, this guy. In he goes.
Good work, Liz. Guys, I don't know whether you'll be able to see that or not, but there's 4 little sand terns just here in front of us, and they're just sneaking around, having a feed. God knows what they're picking up. They're just But anyway, they're doing whatever they do. Bloody cool. Look, it's an awesome day. We just got to hope that the weather holds for a few more like this. Only four, just 4 little ones having a feed on the beach, and the tide's running out, so I guess they're picking up little bits and pieces that they'll salvage. We got a few crabs, some little mollusks we'll probably use for bait this afternoon, and see if we can't catch a fish. Yeah, well, there's a challenge. All right, we'll see you later on.
Pancakes for breakfast. I bring a prepared one. Add water and you're good. Put the lid on, shake vigorously. You've got to get all the powder out. And then nearly there. I just let it sit for a minute and then I'll start cooking. You've got to get the pan nice and hot first before you start putting your pancakes in.
So Liz, what's the recipe for a perfect pancake?
Well, you like bananas and maple syrup. Me? I'm a golden syrup girl. Put that on your top of your pancake. Oh, beautiful. Just got to get all the bubbles to rise to the top, and then you know it's time to turn it over.
So what are we looking for here, Liz?
Well, as you can see, I've got a good amount of bubbles on the top of my pancake.
Yep. Well,
And look at that.
beautiful job. My poison of choice is the maple syrup. Maple syrup. Right on the bananas. And I tell you folks, it doesn't get much better than this. Beautiful. This morning we decided to take a drive down through the southern end of the park to Woodgate. We needed to pick up some forgotten supplies. The section of park that we are camped at is both accessible from Childers in the south or Bundaberg from the north.
As you can see from the track, there's several different options that you can take. Depends on the wet weather, I would imagine.
The track winds its way behind the beach before heading inland for a while, then back towards Woodgate. There are a couple of creek crossings that I would think would be impassable after heavy rain.
This is a bit of a hazarded crossing, I'd say, because I'm going to show you what's been left behind. That looks like a side step off a four-wheel drive. Unfortunately, that didn't make the trip. So this morning it's Saturday, and I forgot to buy him tomato sauce. So I need to go into town to get some tomato sauce. This is the track that we've just come on. It's the southern section to Kinkuna Beach. They shut this section because there's a couple of water crossings that you've got to do. We filmed one. It's only little bits, but if it gets too much in there, you won't be able to get across. And you might be able to hear in the background, John is pumping up the tyres because there was quite a few sandy sections that we had to go through.
This is the first chance we've really got to test out our Indiflate, and I got to say, I reckon it's quite a bit quicker than just doing individual tyres, and it works good for this.
So we're camping at Kinkuna Beach, and you can't drive all the way down the beach to Woodgate because of Theodolite Creek, and this is it.
Well, the call was made and we headed into Childers for a palmy and a cold beer before heading back to camp. What's not to like about this? We are so blessed to be able to appreciate some of nature's truly amazing things. Sitting around a crackling campfire, listening intently at the waves as they cascade onto the moonlit sand, and being able to share this whole experience with the ones you love. Well, good morning. Another absolutely sensational morning here at Kinkuna Beach. So I just wanted to add a little thing in here. Elizabeth and I should say, had a conversation the other day in the car in regards to, John, now we're on holidays. It's not like a weekend where you can just sort of chill out all the time. So part of that has become a little bit of an exercise ritual. No more than what we would do at home, and we quite often, well, we do. We get up and walk of a morning. So we've got to keep that bit of a constitution going, I guess. And to be fair, she's right, because we have spoken to people when we've been out and about that have retired and started to travel more frequently and doing their laps and things. And yeah, and they've all sort of commented, or most of them have commented on the fact that they tend to become lethargic, start to put on a few kilos. So we certainly don't want that to happen. Well, not extensively, any rate. So yeah, I just thought I'd give it, I guess the tip for the day is to make sure that you keep that exercise regime up, whether it's walking or bike riding or whatever else you're into. Well, last night was a very interesting evening. It was a beautiful afternoon, and then all of a sudden the weather just turned, and we got I guess from about 4:30 till 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish, it absolutely blew and blew and blew. So we resorted to a fairly easy dinner, given that we'd been to Childers and had a magnificent counter meal at the Grand Hotel. highly recommend it. Photo of lunch down below. So we didn't need to do that much, and again, we've woken up this morning. What an absolute cracker. What an absolute cracker. This place is special. We were going to move on, but I think given where we've actually got to camp, we caught some crabs the other day and had a bit of a fish. Pretty unsuccessful. Didn't expect an awful lot more than that, to be honest. So my fishing prowess, whilst I have caught fish, it's certainly not up there with some. So yeah, anyway, we'll leave you there. We're going to head off for a walk, and we'll catch you guys a little bit later in the morning. Well, that was a fun afternoon, a little bit of exploring, a bit of reading, and yeah, as we said earlier, we've been trying to catch a fish for the last 2 days and haven't any luck. But we've seen these guys all drive past us with their fishing rods and things. We went for a drive this afternoon, and we thought we'll go down and see where they are and what they're actually doing. So there is a bit of a spit down about 4 or 5 kilometres further down the beach, and that's where they were fishing. So hopefully the weather holds tomorrow. About a bit after lunch, probably the tide will be right. We'll tear down and we'll have a crack at them down there. So we've come back, taken some photos that we wanted to take, and nothing beats a shower when you're camping. So we've just done that, and I'll just quickly show you what we've got set up in the van. So what I've done is fitted the Smart Tech heater to the right hand side front box door. Sits in there nice and snug. I've cut the drawer back a little bit to make it all fit, but it's just awesome. So 20 litres of water down the bottom, hooked up to the gas. So we bought an OE extension lead that lets us take it all the way back to the ensuite. 20 litres of water will do Liz and us, 3, maybe 4 showers. We use somewhere around about 5 litres, a bit under 5 litres. Between the two of us, a rinse on, soap up, rinse off. So yeah, that's the setup. And I've got to tell you, it's nearly wine time, so it's awesome. Yep, another great day at Kinkuna Beach. Hey, listen, it's getting to that time of night when we need to light a fire to keep warm, and we're going to cook a couple of steaks tonight as well. So what we want to do is, you know how we all accumulate gear as you travel, you get bits of this and a bits of that, and some stuff works and some stuff doesn't. Back in 2019, a company called Life2 sent us a little fire pit for us to try, and we thought, oh well, this is pretty cool. Here it is, 2023, and we love it, and we've still got it. That's our go-to. It's nice and light, it's easy to put together, and it radiates a reasonable amount of fire. And we've adapted a little bit, so we've made it so that we can actually cook a feed on it. Well, we'll sign off now, as it's pack up time tomorrow and we head home. What an absolutely cracking spot, and we really do look forward to coming back soon. Guys, thanks for watching. We hope you've enjoyed joining us on this trip to the Fraser Coast. If you've liked the video, be sure to hit the like button below. Maybe consider subscribing. It costs nothing, but it does help us out. Cheers, and remember, don't let the dust settle.